Hey, Steve from Guitar Zoom here, and in this video, we're going to be learning how to play 5 different ACDC riffs using the chords that we talked about in the last video. Now, if you didn't see the last video, there's going to be a link in the description below for you to check out, and you can learn these chords so you can play these songs. So what I'm trying to show here is how you can play some fairly easy ACDC riffs using what we call open power chords. And again, we learned that in the last video. Okay, so we learned how to play E, A, D power chord, and then G power chord, and C power chord, open power chord. And then I showed you a bunch of different things that you can think about with that too. So again, if these are absolutely new to you, please take a look at that video first, and then come on back here and let's learn some ACDC songs. So the first one we have here we're going to look at is TNT, okay? So TNT, what we're going to do is we're going to use E, we're going to use G, and we're going to use A. Okay, so what I'm going to do is play that E chord, and then I'm going to stop the strings. And then I'm going to go up to G, and then I'm going to go up to A. And each time I'm stopping the strings in between. Hear that stop? I'm touching over here. Okay, and then we end with this little thing, which is kind of cool. You're going to play the 3rd fret of the 6th string, and then go back to that A power chord, and then go back to that G. So it sounds like this. Now the hard part is trying not to have all of this ring out at the same time. So what you've got to do is play this note. When you go to this chord, play that chord, and then when you go back, relieve the pressure, lift that up just a little bit so it stops those strings. And then go back to this 3rd fret. So we have. Okay, so that's our first one is, I got my list over here, TNT. So the second one is one of my favorite songs called Walk All Over You from Highway to Hell. And this one, what we're going to do is we're going to use E again, G, D. Again, whether or not you want to use this finger, you want to strum that string, oftentimes I'll put my finger there, but I just won't strum that string. And then A. So E, G, D, A. Okay? Now, I wanted to follow this one after TNT because there's this little single note thing in there if you can add it in. And if you can't, you don't need to play it. The point is to have some fun, right? But what we're going to do here is go. See, I play 0 and 2, and then I play my G chord. So I have. See, it'd be really hard to try and get that down there. And then if I play that, it just sounds way too full. So I want to leave that middle finger off. This is a perfect example of why we would do that. Okay, so that's the riff for Walk All Over You. Really fun to play. Another one of my favorites is Jailbreak. Now let me break this down as, no pun intended, as simple as possible, and then we'll add in some things. So we've got. So you're going to strum E twice, and then you're going to stop those strings, play D, play A, stopping the strings in between. But when we go from A to E, we're just going to jump over right away. Okay? Now, what you can add in, if you choose to, is some of these little scratches. There's just a couple of these little clicks. You don't have to add them, but just they're kind of cool to keep the rhythm going. So you're your hand just keeps going. But again, it's not necessary. And the other part, which isn't necessary but sounds kind of cool, is that little hammer-on. So what I'm doing is I'm playing the E chord and then I'm smacking this finger down. So I have... And it happens right away. Like as soon as I strum, I hit that finger down. Okay? Again, not necessary, but it sounds pretty cool. All right, and the next one we've got is Highway to Hell, okay? Now this one's really cool. We're gonna use A, D, and we're not gonna use that finger there, and then G. So we have... Now what I've always loved about moving from this D to this G is that this finger stays right where it is. So when I switch over, and you'll see that with all the various songs we've been playing, I can leave that third finger where it is and then just rotate. So again, I'm taking this off. You could leave it there if you wanted to. It's okay either way. So I'm strumming A 3 times, and then 3 times on D to G. So twice here, once here. There's your group of 3. Then you do it again. Do it again. And then you go back to D once, and then 2 A's. Group of 3. Group of 3 twice. There's your 1, and back to A. Now, again, there's something you can add onto this that helps it really sound like the song. It's not necessary, because I'm more concerned with you having fun and having the music meet you where you are in your learning. But if you can do this, it sounds really cool. What you're going to do is when you go to that D chord, you're actually going to bring your thumb around the top, and you're going to press on that 6th string at the same time. So you're getting a D with F sharp in the bass. So you have... Hear that? Okay? Now, when I was younger, I used to play this, and I couldn't reach this. So what I would do is I would play, and I would go to my D like this. So I'd put my first finger up here and then play the rest of the D down here, like that. Now it seems awkward to me, but that's how I used to do it a long time ago. But anyway, again, it's not necessary to be able to play the song, but it really does make the song sound a little more authentic when you add that thumb in over the top and make it into a D. We call it a D/F sharp, D with F sharp in the bass. So that's how we're going to play the ACDC Highway to Hell riff. And then we've got You Shook Me All Night Long, and I'm going to show you this part right here. Okay? Now, we're going to start off by just strumming each one of these chords as power chords. So we're going to play G like this. Again, I'm deadening out that string. C like this, and I'm deadening out that string. See how I strum that C twice? And then I go back once, up here. So I have stop, and then I'm going to roll over to that D. And you could strum that once or twice. I've always strummed it twice, but whatever sounds best to you. So it looks like this and sounds like this. Or, again, whatever seems to work best for you. And then we're going to go from G to D. G, G, D, G, D, G. So those are our 2 parts. Okay? So again, some really fun things to do. I've always joked with students that even though you don't learn the entire song, if you're ever around other people that want you to play, you can start playing a tune and maybe all you know is like the first riff. And you play it, and then you stop, and then they go, hey, play more. And you go, no, I'm so sick of playing that song. You could just lie to them and pretend like you actually know the song, but you don't. It's a joke. All right. So anyway, have some fun and stay positive and keep practicing. And if you want to learn more songs and different kinds of things from me, you can actually head over to guitarzoom.com. I have a club called Play Songs where I teach you how to play all kinds of different songs. So check it out and take care, stay positive, and I'll talk to you soon, all right?